What is going on, guys? Welcome to Outside the Brand. This is your Friday Night SmackDown post show for June 23rd, 2023. I'm your host, Phil, and of course, this is Outside the Brand. Thank you so much for joining us right here on your Friday nights, wherever you may be. I got my trusty co host here, Loft, in the building today. How are you feeling, my man? SmackDown. What happened? I don't mean to bring Wee Hoopin into this with the what happened, but this show, damn. Not good, bro. Not good.
For like 15 minutes, I walked out of the room because when Pretty Deadly and Grayson came out, I walked out the room. I completely walked out. I can't watch them talk. I
Those
cannot watch
two,
them talk.
those two are like completely polar opposites from what we saw them in an NXT with, bro. They're so polar opposites from what we saw them back in the day in NXT, and it wasn't even that long ago.
I was trying to figure out, like, have they always been that annoying? But I don't know what it is, man. But then I'm cool with Grayson, but I just want Grayson to wrestle a match because he's very good, but they just don't care.
Yep.
So I SmackDown was weird tonight.
Uh, now,
Read it.
before we even really get into everything, Vince was here. I mean, you can totally tell just by the whole layout of the show, the whole aura of the show. Vince made a lot of changes, and that was by Sean Ross Sapp. He tweeted that SmackDown was Vinceified tonight, and there were a ton of changes being made to the show within the coming hours, and it brought us to what happened tonight on the show. Matches were scrapped that were supposed to happen. I mean, we were supposed to get Bayley and Shotzi in a Money in the Bank, not qualifying match, but Bayley was supposed to put her Money in the Bank spot on the line tonight against Shotzi. That match just didn't even take place. Um, I thought the unification match was happening next week on SmackDown, the SmackDown before uh, Money in the Bank, but it took place tonight. So either that was pushed up or I was just a blithering idiot and it was all ready for tonight and I just didn't even realize. Um, and then the Bloodline Civil War began tonight, but it was really only the Usos just doing a promo at the beginning of the day. Not the day, but beginning of SmackDown, and then them getting involved in the main event, which is Sheamus versus Solo Sikoa. So not much happened on this show. We had a unification match for the undisputed WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, which will be defended on both Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, which was the exact same rulings that they had before the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships were even established. So we're just going back to that now. I mean, this whole show was just all over the place, and we are just coasting to Money in the Bank at the O2.
Yeah, man. I was disgusted when Ronda and Shayna won, but I guess
I
living
saw
right
that
there.
coming, man. I saw Ronda and Shayna coming, like winning coming. I saw that, like.
I don't know why you do that though. I don't understand why you do that. It
Why I
doesn't
do
make,
that? Why I just see it coming?
no, why
Because I mean,
not you
it's just
them.
them.
Not you
Because it's
them.
just, because it's just them, man. Um, they don't have any faith in other women's tag teams. Let alone what other tag teams do we have on this roster? I I legitimately saw so many people today, um, outside of the circle that we usually talk to on a regular basis, saying that this is the best the women's tag team division has ever been. And I'm like, what, excuse me? What are you talking about? I
I
mean,
don't know
yes,
what
we
that
have
is.
actual women's tag teams here on the company now with um Shayna and Ronda, with Casey and I was gonna say Casey Catanzaro and Katana Chance, the same freaking person, Phil. Um, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Um, Alba and Isla. I mean, now we got Raquel and Liv back, so that's kind of 4 tag teams. Honestly, that's it. That's all we got. So the best that we have right now for the women's tag team division is 4 teams. It's not. That's not a good look, bro. It's not a good look.
I don't know what they got going on, bro. I don't know what they got going on.
Austin Theory was nowhere to be found as United States champion on Friday Night SmackDown, so that's just a complete, clusterfuck in its own self. Then we have the undisputed Universal Champion that doesn't even show up, but is still going to be holding all 3 championships, so that's, something to even talk about. And the women's champion, Asuka, got involved after Charlotte's match tonight. I was like, there's no way Charlotte's actually wrestling tonight, but she was, and she just defeated Lacey Evans and tried to do an Andrade move that she completely failed horribly at. So nothing on this show. I couldn't handle anything on this show tonight, bro. And that might be a little bit harsh, but it is what it is. SmackDown was just bad tonight.
I don't get it. It was just. I don't think I'm gonna call it bad. I just think I'll call it uneventful. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't. It didn't feel like Monday Night Raw. It just felt like nothing. It felt like something was supposed to happen the entire show and nothing did.
Yeah.
I guess that's the feeling I'm having. I don't think it was completely terrible, but I just think that Vince just completely took the air out of the balloon this entire show, and it showed the entire time.
We were in your hometown tonight, bro. What happened? We were in your hometown tonight, man. We were in Lafayette, Louisiana, and the crowd, the crowd maybe wasn't even all that bad.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think
the crowd wasn't even all that bad. It's just the show really just brought things down a bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Guys, we're going to be talking about all things SmackDown tonight. Obviously, AEW Rampage is on right now, but we don't give a fuck about Rampage. I know somebody does show up, though, and we haven't seen him in quite some time. If you guys are a big fan of Mr. John Morrison, you could be seeing him on Rampage right now. I don't know if it was happening actually during Rampage or he just showed up after. But rumor has it is that he actually signed a contract with AEW and he is All Elite. We don't know that for sure. We don't know the actual graphic yet. But he could be All Elite in due time. John Morrison could be in AEW. We don't know if he's going to be staying as Johnny Elite or like a new name or whatever. But when he was in AEW the first time, he was known as Johnny Elite, and he did his thing over there for like the one appearance that he had. That's just another name just to add to the roster in AEW, and I mean that's just not going to be too bad of a thing, especially John Morrison, because I love John and I think John's going to be great. But that's just another name to add as we head to AEW Forbidden Door this Sunday. And it's a lot. It's a lot to go through because Saturday we also have Collision where we'll get the tag team partner for Sting and Darby. A lot of people think it's Naito. A lot of people think it's Evil. But also, there's rumors going rampant that it could be Goldberg. And whether it happens on Sunday or whether it happens at All In about 8 weeks, Goldberg could be coming to AEW. And we're just going to have to worry about that in due time when that happens. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're not here to talk about fucking Goldberg We're here to talk about SmackDown. So, and I'm pretty sure a lot doesn't even want to talk about Goldberg anyway, or basically AEW for that matter. So we'll skip that for now.
Well, I'll talk about them. Goldberg
Huh?
being there just makes me want to say a whole bunch of words, but I'm not going to say any of them.
But regardless, we'll skip the AEW chatter for tonight. We'll talk AEW tomorrow though for Collision. I say Collision like it's like 5 Saturdays from now. It's not. It's tomorrow. And we'll see where things go from there and who will be the tag team partner for Sting and Darby. I'm personally hoping it's Hiroshi Tana, not Hiroshi. That guy is going up against MJF. I'm personally hoping that it's Naito. I think that would be great, but we'll see in due time. Follow us on social media. All the TikTok links are down in the description below. You guys can follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at @PhillyMatt_. You guys can follow Loft at Loft Not Famous on all social media platforms. We're doing our thing over here. It's episode 384. Episode 400 is almost on the horizon, man. That's insane, first of all. But it's almost here. And we're doing things here. It's gonna be great. Do you have anything on the streaming side of things, like Kick, Twitch, anything you're doing as of right now?
Not necessarily. I'm going to try to get back on Kick tomorrow. Hopefully, see how that goes.
It's awesome, bro.
See what
I know
happens.
you're doing some kind of faction war thing, or faction championships or something like that. I saw all that. And just
that was crazy last night. We got ourselves a good WCW pay-per-view coming up, and then we got our first Japan show of the year. So we got to figure out how we're going to set that up. So good things are happening. Good things are happening.
WCW New Japan Forbidden Door.
Yeah, pretty much. We got Fight Forever on Thursday, so hopefully that's available so all of us can play.
It's gonna be really cool. So with that being said, go check out everything that Loft has going over there on Kick. It's Loft Not Famous over there on Kick. You guys will be easily finding him. And if you guys want to talk about anything that happened on SmackDown tonight, or you guys want to just talk about anything for the shows that are going to be coming up this weekend, send in a super chat. Super chats are open. You guys can put them on in. And also memberships are open for you guys. And if you guys do join the channel, you guys will obviously get a link to the Discord. If you're not a part of the Discord already, if you are and you do become a member, I will be thinking of an incentive or a perk that you guys will be having those if you already are on the if you're already in the Discord. So join the channel today, become a member, and send in those super chats, and we will answer all of your super chats by the end of the show. Thank you to our sponsor. We'll get to the sponsor segment now. Sponsor is SeatGeek. Use the code OTB at checkout for $20 off your first purchase using SeatGeek. And thank you to our official merchandise store, Teespring. You guys can use the code OTB20 at checkout for 20% off your purchase at the OTB merch store. You guys can also find the merch stores of Loft and myself down there in the description below as well. And if you guys are going to be buying anything on the WWE shop, use the affiliate link that is down there in the description below as well. And I'm not even trying to promote this, but WWE plastered it in a commercial today. It's 25% off site-wide. So if you're really going to be getting anything for like the next hour or so, you guys can get 25% off site-wide. But if you want to get anything, make sure you use the affiliate link down there. And whatever happens, it'll be brought back right into this channel. That way we can continue to make OTB the best it possibly can be. So yeah. we'll get into Friday Night SmackDown. Thank you guys so much for joining us right here on OTB. And let's get right into it, guys. So, we kick things off. We're in the arena in Lafayette, and the Usos are out there. Fans are chanting for the Usos. Jey starts off the bloodline, and then Jimmy slapped him on the chest, saying, "Listen, we're not a part of the bloodline anymore." It's like, that's right. That's right. The Usos are now in your city. And they still did the one. They still did the one.
I can do it now.
They're the ones. They're the ones. We can do it now. So Jey says that the Usos are in your city. Jimmy says he is feeling good, and he asked Jey how he was feeling. The fans chant Usi, and Jey says that they are about to fight their family. Jey says that family doesn't do that. Family is supposed to lift each other up, make sure from the bottom to the top that they have their backs from day one to the end. Jimmy cuts him off and says it sounds to him like he made the absolute perfect decision last week on Friday Night SmackDown. Jey says that they still love Roman. He is the tribal chief. For 3 years that they were in the trenches together, they did what he asked them to do. He says when Roman messed up is by disrespecting them. Jimmy says that they were raised on respect, and that is huge. It's not about falling in line, but they fell in line, and they became the most dominant faction in WWE, but then they got disrespected. Jimmy says that Roman is now on the island of relevancy alone, and Jimmy says that they cannot forgive the ones outside of the house. If you follow with rats, they will lead to snacks, and the biggest snake of all was Paul Heyman. Jimmy says Heyman claimed that for 40 years he has respected this family, but how can Roman respect someone like Heyman? Jey says, now that we will be going to London to go into the Civil War with the Bloodline, Jey says that they are the biggest tag team in all of the world, and Jey says on July 1st in London at the O2, it's lockdown. Solo and Roman, welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. We got the Uso Penitentiary back, man. It's legitimately the Usos back to their old form. Obviously, they're still wearing the We the Ones and still doing the ones and everything like that, but we have the Usos back in full form from what they were before.
That's all I ever wanted, man. That's all I ever wanted. Now we're back where we should be. And hopefully Roman and Solo get their ass beat on Saturday. Well, next Saturday.
Yeah.
That's all I ever wanted.
Imagine if it was tomorrow. Imagine the Money in the Bank tomorrow, and then Forbidden Door on Sunday. We wouldn't survive.
Yeah, a lot of wrestling in one day. Jesus.
But it is next Saturday, and we will see what happens in the Civil War. I mean, I am very excited about this tag team match. We all know that this tag team match is going to be it's going to be given a lot of time. Trust me, guys, it's going to be given a lot of time. That's why there's really only 5 matches on the card so far. I think there's going to be 6. I think we are going to be getting Riddle and Gunther added to this card. But as of right now, there's only 5 matches on this card. We got the Bloodline Civil War. We got the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. Then what else is on this card? I know there's 5 matches. I just looked at the card before.
I don't know what they're gonna do with. What is Rhea defending?
No. So we got the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. We got the Bloodline Civil War. Oh, that's right. Seth and Finn, and then Cody and Dom.
Okay.
So right now there's only 5 matches on the card, but I do believe that we will be getting Gunther and Riddle for the IC title, and that's probably going to round out the card, and that's going to be the 6 matches on the show. The women's champions will be getting their nights off because obviously Asuka will be defending next week against Charlotte, and then Rhea, she's most likely just going to be accompanying Dom in his match with Cody. So women will have their night off. Theory, he will be no showing a pay-per-view again, because I don't think he didn't defend last pay-per-view, and he's not going to be defending this time around. So he's not going to be defending the pay-per-view 2 times in a row now. So yeah. Oh, and the tag team titles are going to be defended next week on SmackDown. So tag team title match is not going to be happening at Money in the Bank. So sure, going to only be a 6-match card, man, and we'll see where it goes. But we know that the Money in the Bank ladder matches and the Civil War tag team match is going to be taking up a lot of time on the card.
Pretty much, as long as the correct ending happens, I don't care how long it is.
Yeah,
honestly.
So there was that. I mean, it wasn't really too big of a segment here, man. I mean, it was just the Usos talking their talk before everything happens at Money in the Bank in the Civil War, and Roman wasn't even here tonight. I mean, they advertised everybody in the Bloodline that was here tonight, but Roman wasn't here. It was only Solo, and he got a main event match and was fed Sheamus tonight in the main event. So, I mean, it was what it was. But we come back from commercial break, and we have L.A. Knight. Yeah. Taking on Rey Mysterio. This was a match that, came from last week's episode of SmackDown. When LA Knight was just here, well, Rey Mysterio was going to introduce Santos Escobar to the crowd, and LA Knight just took it to Rey. For reasons we don't know, but the match took place tonight. Rey Mysterio and LA Knight. Yeah. And yeah, I thought this was not bad. LA Knight actually won, which was
thank God
awesome.
Oh.
LA Knight in the Money in the Bank ladder match next Saturday. Rey Mysterio, he was out here. I don't mean to say it like in that kind of a way, but like, LA Knight should have won this match.
Damn.
He did win this match. That's really all that mattered here.
Yeah, I was terrified he was going to lose, but I need him to get all the wins he can before Saturday because I just got a bad feeling about it. I don't know, but
I got
positive thoughts.
I got a terrible feeling about this Money in the Bank ladder match, man. I mean, before Logan, before Logan was even involved in any of this, right? Money in the Bank looked really, really predictable. I mean, and usually predictable is not always in a bad way. It's not always a bad thing when things are predictable. But, for weeks upon weeks upon weeks, fans were saying that this Money in the Bank has no star power. And then a lot of people were also saying, well, listen, if you wanted star power in the beginning, like you say all the time that you want these new stars to be featured in this Money in the Bank ladder match, and now we actually have new people, now you're saying there's no star power. So what do you guys really want here? And I know WWE fans, or basically any type of wrestling fan, is never going to be satisfied 100% of the time. But you do have stars in this, and then they added Logan Paul as the seventh guy to add star power. And it really is shaking everything up now because the odds-on favorite to win Money in the Bank now, besides LA Knight, is Logan Paul. And we don't want Logan Paul to be anywhere near this Money in the Bank briefcase.
At all. At all.
I mean, I was fine with the two favorites being Damian Priest and LA Knight. I mean, I was fine with that because those two are really the two that you could really build stories around when it comes to Money in the Bank. LA Knight, I mean, it's tailor made.
Yeah.
Like a briefcase like this is tailor made for something like him. And Damian Priest, that's a nice wedge to get in between Damian and Finn to split somebody up from the Judgment Day. Even though I don't technically want anybody to be split up, that was a nice wedge there. So I don't know, man. But now Logan's in this. Scary thought for sure, but I'm just glad LA Knight got the win here and was able to get some momentum heading into Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But I pose a question to you now, man. LA Knight's been getting so much momentum as of late. So much hype is around this guy, and obviously for good reason, and obviously it's well deserved. But we all know WWE. When you get organically hot and organically over with the WWE universe and the crowds, that could be served as a death sentence, depending on who is really in charge. A lot of people still think that this is fully Triple H, you know? But most people really can actually have their blinders off and can see that Vince is still somewhere here on this show, whether you want to believe it or not. And WWE has this thing where if you're over the age of like 37, or maybe even younger, like even if you're over the age of like, let's say 35, you're not really looked at as like the next big thing or, you know, the future piece of this company.
Yeah.
LA Knight's like what, 38?
I thought he was 40 something.
Like let me take a look. Maybe I'm wrong in that. I thought he just turned. He is 40. He is 40. November 1st actually. Okay, so he's 40 years old. There's a big ageism type of thing in WWE. What is it about a certain age within this company that just makes the company feel like you're just not going to be that guy, you know, that guy to carry something for the future of this business? I mean, just because you're 40 years old, to me, it doesn't mean anything. If you're going to be a good guy for the company, you're going to be a good guy for the company in terms of reaction and revenue.
I try my best not to. I try my best not to try to figure out why Vince does the things that he does. I realize a lot of stuff he does, he just does just to do it. So I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any sense in that theory, but I'm just worried if he's going to try to slow him down. I hope not, but I'm just worried he's going to try to slow him down, even if they give him the briefcase. I'm worried they're going to like Austin Theory him or like Baron Corbin him or something like that, and I don't think that's going to derail him, but that would definitely be kind of idiotic if you get all this point and you see how the crowd's reacting to him. You don't have to put any effort into the guy. He's all the stuff that you want out of a superstar. He is, and you didn't have to try. So I don't know why you would fight against it.
Yeah,
but Vince does stupid things for stupid reasons. So all I can do now is be scared.
Yeah. Match wasn't bad. Match wasn't too long, but it wasn't bad. We come back from commercial break, and LA Knight threw Rey to the ropes, but Rey hits him with a back elbow, followed by a DDT. He goes to the corner, but LA Knight kicks out. Rey then with a kick to the side of the head, and LA Knight falls onto the second rope. He goes for the 619, but LA Knight catches him, and he lifts Rey up, and Rey lands on his feet. He grabs LA Knight, but LA Knight flips him as Rey lands on his feet. LA Knight hits him with the BFT for the win, 1, 2, 3. Now, earlier on in the match, Rey was going to set up a 619, and I don't know if it was this 619 that Rey hit, but LA Knight, he got tripped over the ropes or something. Like the ropes were just not agreeing with LA Knight. I don't know if you saw that. I mean, it was very hard to not see.
Yeah, it looked weird
when he got tripped over basically everything on the rope, and he just lost his footing or balance or something.
He recovered though.
He recovered, and he got hit with the 619, which was supposed to be the correct spot, but yeah, I found that very funny. I mean, I know nothing is really too funny when it comes to, like, just messing something up, but we're all human. It's okay.
Yeah.
LA Knight, honestly, at the end of the day, he recovered very well and got it going pretty quickly after that mess up. So it wasn't too bad. But LA Knight got the win, and that is what matters. After the match, LA Knight tries to take Rey's mask off, but Santos Escobar runs down to make the save, and LA Knight leaves the ring. So Santos is here, man. Like that, he was my number 3. He was my number 3 in this whole ranking of Money in the Bank ladder match participant, like, winner probability. But now he probably has to go to number 4 because, god dang it, fucking Logan Paul is here. So
yeah, pretty much.
So he'd have to be number 4. But yeah, if they just gave Santos just like an inkling of a singles run, man, I know people would get behind him. I just know it. We'll see. But it's gonna be
try.
So we cut backstage to see Solo walking with Heyman. Ridge Holland passes Solo by, and Solo just hit him with a Samoan spike just because. Shouldn't be walking where Solo is, man. That's all that mattered there.
Pretty much. I liked it. I didn't care. Shit. That's what you get sometimes.
Just shouldn't be walking where Solo is, man.
Yeah, got too close to him.
Just stay away. Then Solo walked away, and Heyman grabs the phone and calls Roman Reigns. So yeah. We'll come back from commercial break, and we see Adam Pearce and Sheamus are checking on Holland. Pearce asks WWE official to get Heyman. Sheamus says that that's not good enough, and he walks away. And then we see him just out on the stage and says, "Listen, you want to fight? Screw it. I'll fight you tonight." So Sheamus just wanted to fight against Solo Sikoa. I legitimately just walking back from the kitchen, and I see Sheamus out there, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? What happened? And I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, because Rich. And I was like, what is happening now? But then it kind of just clicked in my head that Rich Holland legitimately got destroyed by Solo tonight. So
pretty much.
So there was that, because I also knew that the Women's Tag Team Championship Unification Match was up next. So when I saw Sheamus, I'm like, what is Sheamus doing out here for the Women's Unification Match? I thought that there was some weird and random stuff going on in my brain. But I was like, okay, Sheamus definitely can't be, like, refereeing this, can he? But that didn't click in my head. But we had this undisputed WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match take place. Are we getting new belts? Is that what it looks like with this undisputed tag on it? Or are we just gonna get rid of the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships and just have the normal WWE Tag Team Championships rather hold on?
I don't want to see Ronda get any kind of new belt.
No, I don't want it either. But they now have the undisputed tag on them. So, or that's what was said.
Yeah.
In the announcement. So we don't know. Maybe we get new championships. Maybe we just retire the NXT ones and the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships are the one that they hold. I don't even want these titles to begin with, but I just have to get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're going to probably do the redesign whenever they do the redesign for KO and Sammy's belts.
And those are slated to return, and those are slated to happen soon.
Oh, well, yep.
I've heard as soon as after Money in the Bank. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, yep.
Did you hear what could be possibly happening next week on SmackDown?
No.
If you didn't, well, not next week, but the following week, so 2 weeks from now, on SmackDown. There's a new WWE superstar that could be debuting on Friday Night SmackDown on July 7th.
Oh, Carlito.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Forgot about that. Forgot about that.
Yeah. So, I wonder what Carlito will be doing on SmackDown now, man. I think it's honestly a great pickup. I really do. I think Carlito is absolutely in the greatest shape that he's ever been in, and the fact that he was doing all the stuff in Puerto Rico for the LWO stuff and helping Savio Vega out and all that kind of stuff. I think it's a great thing that Carlito's going to be back in WWE. I really do.
I hope they don't destroy him a weekend. I want to have hope, but
I would love to see him back in like the United States Championship picture. I really would have him back in the U.S. title hunt. That'd be kind of cool.
Theory would go over there, right?
Yeah, I know. He'd be like this legend killer type of thing.
I would love to
I do not like people say, "Oh yeah, Austin Theory is the next John Cena." No, he's not. He's not the next John Cena. If anything, he would be like the next Randy Orton with this whole legend killer thing that he's got going on because he took care of Cena in like 5 minutes. If he takes care of Carlito, that's another thing. I mean, he's taking care of. He took care of Rey not too long ago. I mean, listen, he's more like a Randy Orton type of a thing, not than John Cena. But then again, I don't want to compare Austin Theory to Randy frickin' Orton.
Yeah,
this early in his career. You need to pump the brakes when it comes to that.
Not now.
Y'all need to pump the brakes when it comes to these big superstar comparisons with Austin Theory. I mean, yes, Austin Theory is great, but he's nowhere near the John Cena, Randy Orton type of caliber superstar right now.
Not at all.
But this women's tag team championship unification thing, man, like this wasn't anything special at all. Like Alba and Isla just were out there just to get fed or to be fed to the champions.
That was. I don't like throwing that word around, but I hate having them have their first match. Well, not their first match, but was it like their third or
somewhat,
fourth?
Yeah.
And both of them tap out at the same time. It just looks bad, bro.
And I know you don't like using the word being fed, but what was it tonight? Like, what was it tonight that they weren't being fed to the other champions? I mean, they legitimately didn't really have much offense to go on, and if they even did, it was just quickly stopped, and they didn't really have anything else to go on. They were fed to the champions. They were fed to Ronda and Shayna. And yeah, sure, Shayna and Ronda are dominant. We know that. But we already should know that. They're dominant forces to begin with. So why can't we just have like an actual a tag team match and actually have some good competition? That like
because they think that Ronda and Shayna are, well, mainly Ronda, because I'm still standing by the fact that Shayna is just there to be there. If Shayna was just like, God forbid, injured or something, they would have put someone in Shayna's spot,
yeah,
to be Ronda's tag team partner, and then they would have Ronda with the belts all the time because they think Ronda is they think she's the answer to everything wrong with the women's division, and I think that's probably one of the most laughable things that is in the mind of Triple H and Vince
yes,
McMahon. Is like,
yes.
I don't understand why they think she's the one that can just fix all of this when she hasn't fixed anything in what, 4 or 5 years, maybe longer. So the obsession with her will never fail to confuse me. That's the only reason why she's champion, because they're infatuated with her and they think that she's the next coming of Jesus Christ, when in fact she's the complete opposite.
So we're back from commercial break. Ronda and Fyre are in the ring. Ronda with an ankle lock, but Fyre gets up to her feet and kicks Ronda away. Shayna is tagged in and she hits Dawn with a right hand off the ring apron. She hits Fyre with a knee to the face and she goes for the cover, but Fyre kicks out. She kicks Shayna away and Dawn is tagged in. Dawn knocks Ronda off the ring apron and Ronda Shayna with a Kirifuda clutch, but Fyre with a swanton off the rope to break it up. Ronda then gets into the ring and her and Fyre fight on the outside. Dawn then makes a tag to Fyre and Ronda gets in the ring. Ronda with an armbar and onto Dawn, and Shayna with a Kirifuda clutch on Alba Fyre. And Fyre and Dawn tap out at the same time, and now they are the Undisputed Women's Tag Team Champions. We'll see what happens when it comes to the actual championship belt situation, but if it were just up to me, I wouldn't make a new championship belt. I would legitimately just retire the NXT ones and just, if you want to do a presentation, fine, but just keep the normal women's tag team championships that you were doing when the first championships came around, and just have them be defended on all three brands, which was mentioned on commentary tonight that it'll be defended on all brands, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
Oh boy.
So
Ronda on NXT, wow.
Get ready for Ronda on NXT, people. That sounds like a terrible way to spend your Tuesday night.
She's gonna ruin NXT too. NXT is like the show that consistently puts on the best wrestling of WWE for the week, and she's gonna come in and ruin that too.
That sounds like a terrible way to spend your Tuesday night, bro. And I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to say this, I'm glad that NXT got like the highest rating they ever got since being on the USA Network. At I think it was in like the 900,000s for an NXT episode, which is insane for an episode of NXT. But that was because Seth Rollins was there, and a lot of people wanted to see the Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker thing. Yeah. Let's see what happens to NXT now that Seth Rollins is not on the show. Let's see what happens to NXT after this Gold Rush special is off the show, because listen, man, do I like NXT? I'm liking it a lot more now than when I was, and I'm glad that Loft told me to give it a goddamn chance, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be seeing the great wrestling that we see every week there. But I'm sorry to say it, man, but still NXT, even with the main roster's talent, I mean, tamper the expectations when it comes to the ratings or all that kind of stuff. with the main roster talent. I mean, I know ratings don't mean shit nowadays to us real fans out there because we just want to see good wrestling. But there's going to be people that are always about that.
I mean, I think the ratings always matter. It just really doesn't matter to me because I'm not getting paid from it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I know,
So,
like, the real wrestling fans just want to see the great wrestling that we see on the shows every week. But I just want to see what would happen to the actual like viewership and everything once these superstars aren't on the show. Like Seth Rollins brought a ton of talent, not talent, brought a ton of audience revenue to the show. I mean that's neither here or there. I mean we all knew that was going to happen. But Baron Corbin and Ali and I think those are and Dana Brooke. That was hilarious, by the way.
That debacle.
That was hilarious. But let's see what happens when they're not on the show anymore. Then what happens?
It's gonna go back down because people don't want to watch NXT because they're still trying to figure out why it's not what it used to be, and that's okay. But you're never gonna have fun with it.
You're never gonna have the NXT fucking gold back. And I've come to the terms of that, and I'm watching these shows, and I'm actually enjoying them for what they are. Are stuff still cheesy at times? Sure,
absolutely.
But I mean,
absolutely.
But I mean, hell, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. I mean, this whole Tony D'Angelo being in jail with Stacks trying to figure out who put him in there, it's fucking cheesy as shit. But I love Tony D'Angelo, and he's making it work.
Yeah, I think that's what this version of NXT is kind of harping on to. There's a lot of really goofy stuff that they do, you know what I'm saying? But it's a better watch than Raw, and it's more concise than SmackDown, you know? So and they're doing the best with the women's division over there.
Yes.
So
they're at least trying to do something with that. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So you have a whole bunch of stuff that NXT, it may not do it in the most polished way, but it does just better off of like the regular fan watching each show, you know. I think they're doing a great job for what they've been given. Obviously the ratings are going to go down once the main roster superstars go back to their respective shows, but I do advise everyone who doesn't watch NXT, just try it. You know what I'm saying? It's not what it used to be. It's never going to be back to what it used to be, and that's okay. But if you look at it for just a new slate, it's the best wrestling show you're going to get out of WWE's programming out of the week. I'll tell you that.
If you didn't watch during the paintball days of 2.0, I understand completely. I mean, that show was just completely abysmal, and that was still when it was ran by Vince. But now that it's this like white and gold with like the newish logo, like the newish golden logo.
Yeah,
it's gotten a lot better. And the talent that we have over there with like Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Tiffany Stratton, Cora Jade, and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff rough around the edges, but I think that's what makes this NXT so special. There's a lot of stuff that's rough around the edges. There's a lot of raw talent over there, and you're gonna like who you're gonna like on that show. It's gonna be fun. Like I said, there's still a lot of cheesy stuff over there, but honestly, Shawn Michaels makes the cheesiness work, and it's actually flowing well together over there. But yeah, I don't know why we went to NXT. Well, because the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships are over there.
Yeah.
Now, what happens? Let's say the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships are just completely gone from existence. Do you think we possibly get something in the works of like a singles championship over there in NXT besides the Women's Championship so that they can get the NXT women to fight for something else other than the women's title and Tiffany, or is that just it? Are we just going to have the Tiffany match or the Tiffany belt? I should say.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but I don't know. I'm definitely interested to see what they do with that, but I'm not 100% sure at the moment.
Because I mean, you're legitimately just taking away a championship that women were trying to fight for in NXT if you just retire the belt. So it could be interesting to see what they do. I personally wouldn't mind a secondary women's championship, singles wise. Honestly, for any division, I mean, that's what personally I would have done with the women's championships. If anything, I would have had one women's world champion on the main roster and then two singles women's championships, one on Raw and one on SmackDown. That way, the Raw and SmackDown women's divisions could actually have something else to fight for instead of just a one women's world championship. But they had two women's world championships, the women's world championship and the women's championship over on SmackDown, and then this women's tag team title. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. But Shayna and Ronda are the new undisputed women's tag team champions, and there was that. Ronda gets on the microphone and asks Raquel, who was at ringside, what was she even doing there in the first place? Raquel says that she wants a rematch for the titles that we never lost. And Shayna's like, we? Who's we? Nintendo Wii? Like what are you talking about here?
Yeah, no, not about Wii.
Listen, I want one. I don't care who it is. Legitimately, I don't care who it is. I just want to hear that line one time on television.
God.
I would love it, man. I would absolutely love it.
That would be crazy.
Like you can make like art. Listen, R-Truth hasn't been seen in years, but if R-Truth randomly just showed up and said, "Listen, we have something to say," Nintendo Wii, like dude, R-Truth would be able to work that somewhere in perfectly.
You ain't lying.
Somebody, like, I would just want to hear that be said.
That'd be crazy.
But she's like, who's we? Like, who is this we? And out comes Liv Morgan, to basically stand alongside her tag team partner and Raquel Rodriguez. At that point in time, I realized how short Ronda and Shayna are, but then when they panned out, Liv was also wearing like 17-inch heels or platforms. So, are these women really that short?
No, Raquel's just an extremely tall woman. That's all. That's all she is. I looked at it, I was like, damn, Raquel just towers over everybody. That's all that is. I hope they win the belts back, bro. Oh God.
How
Liv and
tall
Raquel should get the new
Raquel is
title.
6 foot even.
Who?
Raquel is 6 foot.
That's average height for a male. Like she's tall. Yeah, man. Sheesh.
Liv Morgan is 5'3". She is legitimately, like, on my good day, I'm as tall as Liv Morgan. That's insane.
Wow. Jesus. That's crazy.
Shayna Baszler is 5'7". Okay. Because Liv and Shayna were standing face to face with each other. So she was wearing at least 4-inch heels.
Mm-hmm.
Liv. And then Ronda. I can't believe I'm even looking up Ronda Rousey on my phone right now. I'm totally deleting my history after this. She's 5'6". Okay. So yeah, Raquel is just freakishly tall. But I love Raquel. I think Raquel's always done great. And I hopefully, even though she should have been in Money in the Bank this year, hopefully she'll have a great match against Rhea when that match does happen. Hopefully SummerSlam, maybe SummerSlam. Even though I'm hearing rumors right now that it's going to be Becky and Rhea at SummerSlam, which I don't.
What?
I don't want that.
Ugh.
But hopefully it's Raquel and Rhea. Not Becky. Get Becky out of here.
She just these freaking mega pussy. I told you that the
They don't
four
need
horsewomen,
Becky.
man, the four horsewomen will always Bailey loses every match. Mercedes gets run out of the company, but Charlotte and Becky just get everything they ever wanted all the time.
You know, I wasn't even this like. I wasn't even this like. What am I trying to say here? I wasn't even this against Becky. Like a few years ago, I
Hmm.
wasn't. Like I wasn't against Becky as much as I was nowadays. Like maybe 2-3 years ago, I
Yeah,
wasn't. But now, like she continues to just get either title shots or get these opportunities that goes over and over and over again,
yeah,
and it's like we have other people. Like I don't want her to become the Charlotte of another generation here.
yeah.
I mean, I know Becky's nowhere near that when it comes to like championship brands or anything like that. But damn, she gets a lot of opportunities.
And that makes me think that she'll just beat Rhea, and then the whole freaking Rhea hate club would just love that because they just think that she's the worst when she didn't even get a chance to even try yet.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
So but we got Liv and Raquel back as a tag team. They're most likely going to be the next challengers for Shayna and Ronda. Then Alba and Isla. I mean, they got a lot of work to do. Not in terms of like actually in-ring ability. They're great.
Yeah,
It's just the main roster stuff. And then Katana and Kaden. I don't even know where to begin with that. I mean, they lost their first matchup on the main roster, and then they've gotten like what 2 other wins, but besides that, they're not really being featured all too well when it comes to like actually in-ring capabilities.
hmm,
And those are really the only 4 tag teams that we got on this roster. So
crazy man.
saying that this is the best women's tag team tag team division's been in a long time, it's not going to be saying much when you only have 4 teams.
That shit is crazy.
Then we had the Grayson Waller effect,
Grayson Waller.
when special guest Pretty Deadly. And
Oh,
listen, this was bad.
I didn't see a second of it. I walked in. I sat in the bathroom
You know
on
what?
live
Good.
for
Good.
5 minutes.
Good. Keep it that way, please. Laffy, I mean, you're an avid watcher of NXT. Um, from the stuff that you saw of Grayson Waller so far, in the 2.5 months that he spent on the main roster since the worthless WWE draft, is this anywhere near what we saw of Grayson Waller back in NXT?
No, he hasn't even wrestled a match.
Exactly. I know you hate Pretty Deadly, but taking your hatred out of Pretty Deadly for just 1 second when I asked this question, was this anywhere that we've seen Pretty Deadly from NXT?
I think it's closer. I do think NXT version of them was better. I do think it's a closer gap, but it is a bit of a difference. I do sense a bit of a difference. I'm not sure really what it is yet,
Yeah.
but it is definitely a difference from what I saw from at least NXT UK. NXT UK, I could see why
Right.
they were what they were.
Right.
When we moved to
Yes.
NXT, I started to like, okay, I hate them, and then now main roster, I really hate them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know.
Listen, I have no problem with any of these people. Right? I love Grayson Waller. Most of you guys who know me know that I love Grayson. Like, Grayson Waller is my guy. Like, Loff even knows this right from the very beginning. Even during the 2.0 days, when I tried my fucking best to
Yeah,
watch that show.
that boy.
Loff knows I was a huge Grayson Waller fan right from the jump. He was a Carmelo Hayes guy, and I was that Grayson Waller guy.
Yeah, Grayson got it. Grayson can be a star. It's just. Phew.
I mean, obviously, you guys know I love Melo too, but Loff was always Melo, and I was always the Grayson Waller guy. And like, Grayson Waller is fan freaking tastic, and you know that whenever he does actually get to be in the goddamn ring for a freaking match, he's going to kill it.
Yeah.
But that being said, the man has not wrestled on television yet, and I don't know what it is, man. What is going on right now within the company that they're just not letting him get into the ring? A lot of people are telling me that he's injured, but if he was injured, then I wouldn't think they'd be featuring him on television.
There is a good chance that he is injured because the last time I saw him wrestle, he had that big bump. I don't know what match it was, but he hit his head real bad. I forget what match it was. I think it was his last NXT match. I think he took a pretty big bump, so he could be hurt. That could be it.
I mean, if he's injured, I mean, I guess that makes a little bit more sense as to why he's not wrestling on television.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know though. He very well could be hurt though. I totally forgot about that bump he took.
So I'm trying to figure this out here because he was injured in a match with Carmelo Hayes at Spring Break-In. I know that. And I mean, they went right to the finish after that injury took place, and Waller was hurt because of the when he was doing the rolling cutter finish. I remember that now, because he like rolled his ankle or something during
something like that.
And he did something with his ankle. So he's been injured since then. But obviously this injury is lingering on if he hasn't been in the ring yet. And I don't want WWE to just say, all right, well, this guy is obviously, just not with it when it comes to like either the in-ring aspect or the injury that's just lingering on. It's just going to, derail plans or whatever. I hope WWE actually knows what they're doing with him regardless of this injury that is going on with him. Because if this is legitimately still happening because of the injury, then I technically understand, but don't lose faith in Grayson Waller. That's all I'm saying to the WWE landscape out there, because he's really good, and you can't just not let him go for so long.
Oh no, I think whenever they decide to let him wrestle, I think within his first match, people will realize how good he is. It's just a matter of them doing just that, That's all.
And then Pretty Deadly. I mean, Pretty Deadly has a lot of work to do, man. I mean, listen, Pretty Deadly, regardless if you like them or whether you hate them, they are actually very good in the ring. There's this whole story right now with all of them saying that they were the ones to defeat all 5 of their tag teams in the Scotland match to get to this #1 contendership opportunity, which I think is laughable. But, I mean, it just fits right up their alley when it comes to, like, their cockiness and, just their boldness as a tag team. They're getting the tag team championship opportunity next week in London. On Friday Night SmackDown. And I think they're going to really, really do well against a team like Sami and KO. I obviously don't think they're winning the tag team championship so soon, but I do think that they are going to be shining in this tag team championship match. I know you really don't like them, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, I know a lot of people are very they have a lot of opinions when it comes to Pretty Deadly, and it's cool. You like what you like, and you don't like what you don't like. But the tag team championship match is big for them, and I think and I think a lot of the reasons why WWE is pushing them so hard is because of people like you and because of people like me who are totally in the polar opposites when it comes to the fandom of Pretty Deadly, but they're getting good heat, and it's showing on WWE television.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's going to be a good match, whether anybody really likes them or not, to me. And we'll see where it goes.
As long as they don't win, I'm cool. They can have the best match of all time. As long as they don't win, I'm okay. You know what I'm doing.
Is there anything that Pretty Deadly could do to make you, like, somewhat not hate them in the way that you do? Or is it just a gimmick?
The gimmick is one of the most annoying things I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
It's just pure annoyance.
Now, what if Tyler Breeze was with them?
Then I'll be forced to hate Tyler Breeze, and I don't want to hate Tyler Breeze. But if he
because
puts
he's
himself
right up
with
their
them,
alley, man. He's right up there.
If he joins them, then I'm gonna have to hate him too.
I mean, he did the whole selfie gimmick, and it was like his finisher was legitimately called the Unprettier, bro.
Tyler Breeze makes it work. Pretty Deadly does not make it work. So this they take some notes from Tyler Breeze and make it work, because whatever they're doing right now is abysmal.
Okay, so that's interesting. I wasn't even really trying to bring up Tyler Breeze, but it just fit to what we were talking about at the time.
Yeah.
What from Tyler Breeze would you have Pretty Deadly, commemorate to get them more into the direction that you kind of want to see them to get into? Because are you okay with them as a wrestling type of feature, or just nothing at all for you suits with them?
I don't think they're terrible wrestlers. It's just the gimmick makes me not want to watch them wrestle at all. So it makes me not want to care. Tyler Breeze's gimmick, it looked believable because I can, actually believe that Tyler Breeze is like that. Obviously he's not, but he made it look like it was actually his personality. These two look like they're just wearing Halloween costumes. and they're just playing a part. It just looks too goofy. It's just cartoonish,
it's forced. It's forced to you.
Yeah, it just looks good. I understand the thing, but it's just like, no, don't get them off the screen. It's just excruciating to watch them. It's like I'm watching two people try to cosplay as Tyler Breeze.
Okay.
And not doing a good job at all.
See, I like this. You legitimately have a reason. Holy shit.
I try to have a reason for most of my hate. I try to. Some of it is just blind, which I will admit that. But I try to, for most of it, I try to think of why I hate them and then write it down, rehearse it a few times and then say it in front of everybody. But yes, I have a reason.
Listen, fans, it's okay to not like somebody, but if you have a reason as to why you don't, and you actually have some kind of constructive criticism. I was gonna say constriticism, which is so weird. If you actually have some constructive criticism when it comes to that, that's cool. Loff and I are on a different side of an opinion when it comes to Pretty Deadly, but I understand his reasonings. I understand them thoroughly and fully. We can agree to disagree. It's cool. Now, I'll still have to put him onto the whole thing of Orange Cassidy, but that's neither here and there. We'll just we'll address it on another day, because he's going to be having
one bad person at a time, please. Oh yeah.
The International Championship Fatal 4-Way is going to be a banger at Forbidden Door on Sunday, but we'll talk to that in due time. and hopefully Daniel Garcia walks out as the freaking champion. I can
I'll
only
take
hope.
that. I like him.
I can only hope, but I most likely think Orange Cassidy's still going to retain this championship. And if he retains the championship on Sunday, Miro, Andrade, or Roosh, those are the only three people I want to see him win that title from here on out.
Want Miro to just demolish him.
I would love it, man. I would love it.
Put him through the mat. Oh God.
Speaking of Miro, oh wait, that's right. You didn't even watch Rampage. You didn't even watch Collision on Saturday. He fucking killed it on Saturday.
I heard.
And Andrade and Buddy Matthews killed it too. I mean, they legitimately did the finishers of their girls. It was awesome. I mean, Andrade legitimately did the figure eight, and Buddy did the prison trap from Rhea Ripley. It was immaculate. It was so good. I mean, I thought legitimately Andrade broke Buddy's jaw because of his back elbow thing that he does, but he was insanely okay after that, which was awesome. Yeah. But he legitimately did that back elbow. You heard that like smack and clap.
He lays into that jaw.
Yeah, he lays into that shit, and I legitimately thought he broke his jaw. I did.
But clocking him.
He was fine, man. That was awesome. We'll see what happens on Saturday though, because we got Punk, Ricky Starks, and FTR taking on Bullet Club Gold, and Jay White and Rock Hard Juice Robinson. I don't know if you know this or not, Law, but Juice Robinson is rock hard, and it's just from my sources. I'm sorry, I just have
that's nasty sources
nowadays. And and the Gun Club, so should be good there. Yeah. So I wonder why Juice Robinson is rock hard, bro. I wonder why.
I'm tired of hearing that.
Do you know why though? You know
I don't want to know. I don't want to know at all. He can have a blessed day being rock hard. I just don't want to know about it. You know, I don't care to know about that.
If I was a Tony Storm 24/7, I'd probably be rock hard too. Moving on.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, man.
So Grayson Waller welcomes Pretty Deadly to the show. They say that this is their favorite talk show, and it's way better than the KO show. Waller says that it's good to have people with good manners, as Americans don't have good manners to even begin with. So, thanks, Grayson.
Okay,
love
great.
you too, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Waller says that they have been there for 2 months and have seen some great success already within the tag team division. And next week in London, they will go up against Sammy and KO for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Pretty Deadly then calls London the best city, and they are taking this seriously, but they don't have but they don't feel like Owens and Zayn are going to give them the same kind of respect. The fans chant, "Shut up." Pretty Deadly says that they have won championships before, and they are not, and that is not surprising. Owens and Zayn can continue to argue with each other, but Pretty Deadly are on the same page, and they will be on the same page, and they will stay on the same page. Waller says that he is not surprised. They should talk about last week when Pretty Deadly were the Iron Men of the Tag Team Championship Gauntlet. They beat 5 teams in a row to get this opportunity, and they did it all in one match, which was certainly not the case. I think they came out in like 4th or 5th place, which
something like that.
It was something like that, but they defeated all 5 tag teams in a row to get this opportunity. Waller says that it was inspiring, and Pretty Deadly called themselves the Iron Men of Friday Night SmackDown. Not SmackDown, Snackdown.
They freaking suck, bro.
Which is probably the reason why Watt hates them so much, because it's not SmackDown, it's Snackdown to them.
They just ruin everything. They just ruin everything. Oh.
And they said that there were times that they did not think that they could continue, but they were able to defeat the odds and become number one contenders. Out come the Street Profits, and they challenged Pretty Deadly to a match next on Friday Night SmackDown, and that's what we got. This promo was so bad. It was so bad. And listen, it's not anything that they really said. It's that they're completely the polar opposites of what we saw them back in NXT. Grayson Waller was not this cringy in NXT. And I don't think... And even when he had the Grayson Waller effect on NXT, it wasn't this... I wouldn't say robotic because, you know, he has his own cadence when it comes to things. And, you know, it does take a little bit for the main roster audience to get used to some stuff like this. But Waller wasn't like this in NXT when he did the Grayson Waller effect. And Pretty Deadly, they didn't really talk all that much. And if they did, they kept it short, they kept it sweet and to the point and simple, and they just let the wrestling do the talking. So it's just, something's off. And I don't know if it's the writing or their actual way of going about it when it comes to Vince still being here. But regardless, they're not the same.
Yeah, they got to figure that shit out because I can't handle much more. I can't.
When it comes to the Street Profits Pretty Deadly match, it wasn't bad. I mean, at all. But, I mean, it was just there. But I do have to say, though, Dawkins, put some fucking respect on this man's name.
That boy good.
You guys can't stop sleeping on Dawkins forever. I was gonna say Hawkins. Kurt Hawkins is in Impact, as Brian Myers, but Angelo Dawkins, you can't keep continuing to sleep on him, man. He has improved. I can't even say improved tremendously because that's like putting it lightly. The guy is so good. And to the people that say, oh yeah, Montez Ford has to obviously be the one to split away from the Street Profits and go solo, Angelo Dawkins has put that shit to bed so quickly that if these two were to ever break up, which I never want them to, I'm just saying, if they did, they'd both be still standing tall, and being on their own would be somewhat okay because both of them have that backbone now. I really do believe that.
Yeah, both of them will make it work.
Yeah.
Both of them will definitely make it work.
I mean, I don't want it to happen, but they both have that backbone now to where if it did, both of them would survive.
Mm-hmm.
Because listen, man, earlier on when this whole thing was rumored to be happening, you know me. I was like, is Angelo Dawkins going to have that backbone enough to, keep it composed and not be the one budget cutted or, put into the back while Montez is just going to get all the praise and love and all that kind of stuff being out there. He has that backbone now, and he got that.
Yeah, if they do the breakup, I just don't want them to freaking crime time that shit and just have one as the mega star and then one as the one they don't put any attention to, and then
listen. If one of them has to turn on the other to make it happen, fine. Do the one-time rivalry, and that's it. I know that's technically doing the crime time thing, but do it for 1 month, and then just let them go on their own. We don't need to have that crime time thing where they just legitimately just continue to go after each other month after month after month after month until one of them got released.
Who you think takes the gimmick of the Street Profits though?
You're not turning Montez heel, to me.
Really?
I would love it if Montez turned heel, but it would have to be for the right reason. And if you do, you have to turn Bianca heel with him.
I was gonna turn all three of them heel at the exact same time and just create a super stable.
I mean, that would be great too. I like if you're just gonna keep them together. I was talking about if they were gonna split apart, I'll have
Oh
Angela
well,
be the one to turn heel.
yeah.
Because Angela was the one that was unappreciated and that was looked at as the Janetti and a lesser of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And he would attack Montez for it. Montez would stay babyface. Angela would be the heel, and then you just do whatever you need to do there. But if they were together and you wanted to turn all of them heel at the same time and build one super group, that would be cool too.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, hey, something has to change though when it comes to the Street Profits. Because I mean, I love the Street Profits. Everybody knows we all love the Street Profits here, but I don't know if it's just me, man, but their babyface run is kind of not come to its end, but it's getting a little tiring for me.
I'm telling you that freaking Usos match destroyed all the momentum they thought they had.
Yeah.
Because they should not have lost that match, and ever since then, it's just been downhill. So,
and I remember when I first brought up that kind of a thing to you, where I was just not really feeling the Street Profits that much anymore, and you were like flabbergasted. You were like, "Wait, what? Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man."
It didn't hit me yet. It didn't hit me that they were just like slowly falling into purgatory.
I'm like, I know that might be like a little bit of an unpopular like opinion there. Like, I'm definitely in the minority when it came to that, but I wasn't feeling it when after that Uso thing. I'm like, all right, something needs to change.
Yeah.
You're like, Phil, whoa, why? What happened?
Because you could feel the energy of them just go away.
Yeah.
You could feel it, and it was just like, all right, well, now what? And they still haven't recovered from that at all.
Yeah. But yeah, this wasn't bad by any means. The Street Profits double team Prince. Ford goes for the cover, but Mr. Wilson breaks it up. I'm not calling him Mr. Wilson just to be like an absolute jerk. I heard Michael Cole say that once or twice tonight. Mr. Wilson. I was like, Mr. Wilson.
Not calling him Mr. Wilson.
I heard him say that at least once or twice tonight during that match. Wilson on the outside with Dawkins with a shoulder tackle. In the ring, Ford hit a rock bottom. Dawkins tags in. Dawkins lifts Prince up on his shoulders, and Ford climbs to the top rope. Wilson then pushes Ford off of the top rope, and Dawkins gets distracted, and Prince rolls him up 1, 2, 3. And Pretty Deadly picked up a win over the Street Profits, and at that point, I knew Loff was pretty pissed. I don't have to watch his live on TikTok to know that he was probably pissed off that Pretty Deadly beat the Street Profits, but I don't even have TikTok on my phone anymore, so I mean I can't even watch it if I even try. So yeah, they won. They beat the Street Profits, and there is that. And Supernova, Sienna is not here.
No, he's violent.
You horny bastard, bro.
Freaky frog. He's a freaky frog.
Sienna can't be here every single week or every stream. You'll get her on the show again eventually. It just can't be every week.
That's crazy.
We come back from commercial break and we have Charlotte Flair enter in the ring. I'm like, there's no way she's just wrestling, right? She's just going to be doing some kind of promo to talk about her match next week. And then I heard the bell ring and I'm like, oh shit, she's actually in a match. Then we found out her opponent's Lacey Evans, and I'm like, got it. Yep.
Just got worse, huh?
I mean, what do I have to say about this? Yeah, you know what? Take it away. What are you gonna say about it?
I ain't got nothing to say. I don't know what to say. This was ridiculous. I didn't want to watch the match. We watched SpongeBob for like the first
They're
half of the
really
match.
trying to position Charlotte as a babyface, aren't they? They're really
Yeah,
trying to position babyface Charlotte Flair, aren't they?
they think it's gonna work too.
They're
It ain't
trying
gonna
to,
work. It's too
and I
late.
think it's gonna work, but it's most likely not going to. And
It's not gonna work at all. At all.
I mean, I'm numb to Charlotte at this point because I mean, I just know their booking of her, and I just know what the fuck they're doing at this point with her, at the stage of her career. So I can't say that I'm shocked by this, them trying to convey that she is a babyface. It's just not gonna work.
At
It's
all.
not. There are going to be some towns where people are going to be cheering for her, and those people are just that most likely a lot of it's going to be piped in. But at the end of the day, some people actually do like her, and I know that's crazy to even say, but it is true. Um,
At least somebody does.
I'm numb to it at this point. I think it's just kind of just where we are in the grand scheme of things at WWE right now. She's getting this women's championship match next week. Whether she beats Charlotte, whether she beats Asuka or whether she doesn't, that remains to be seen. I still think she might actually beat Asuka, and I think that would be a terrible decision. But still, against Lacey Evans, there was nothing.
At all.
I can't gravitate towards Charlotte. And I'm sorry. I know you Charlotte drones or whatever you call yourselves in the chat or basically anywhere out there in the universe are saying, "Oh, come on, Phil, you're just hating just to hate." I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Listen, you can call me a hater of Charlotte Flair all you want. Nothing has gravitated towards me with her. That's it.
I have nothing to say about either woman in this match. I don't know. This was boring. Just boring.
Now does that mean in my case that I'm taking anything away from her in-ring ability? No.
No, not at all.
I know she's a great wrestler. Okay, we all know that. It's the care. We all know that. Like everybody knows the reasons why people don't like Charlotte. It's nothing against the in-ring ability. Nothing. And I can say that to Kingdom Come. Will people really understand that? No. But people are gonna believe what they want to believe.
Yeah, I mean, they they got
I got
figures.
no ill will when it comes to Charlotte's in-ring ability. Except when
Yeah,
she tries to do Andrade's moves. Then we have a fucking issue. But that's the only problem with me in the in-ring stuff.
I say when she tries to do that moonsault and just never hits them. I
When
hate that.
she tries to do the double moonsault and completely fails, or I remember one time she tried to do that back elbow and she completely failed it. Completely. It was bad. But
She's got to do her moves. Just do
just
your
do
move.
her moves
You'll be fine.
and don't come off so robotic in your promos, and I might actually start to warm up to you. But until then, no. The bell rings, and I'm actually starting at the beginning of the match because this match wasn't even really all that long. The bell rings and we're underway. Flair with the headlock to Evans, threw her into the ropes and the shoulder tackle by Flair. Takes Evans down. Flair with a kick to the face, followed by a chop to the chest. She grabs Lacey, but Lacey throws her face first into the turnbuckle. Lacey then slams Flair onto the mat, and she climbs to the second rope. Evans then goes for the moonsault, but Flair moves out of the way. Evans then lands on her feet, and Flair slams her face first onto the turnbuckle. Flair then Flair with a throw, followed by a big boot to the face. Flair with a figure 4 transitioned into the figure 8. 1, 2, 3, done. That's it. Big boot into the figure 8, and that was really it for the finish of the match. Flair is celebrating in the ring after, holding on to the figure 4 for a little longer, and Asuka runs in and attacks Flair and kicks her in the face. And that was it. So they fed Lacey Evans, and I'm legitimately saying feeding into the term of Charlotte because there's no other word to describe it. They fed Lacey Evans to Charlotte, and then Asuka with the attack after the match. Simple. Does Lacey Evans actually have real fans? Genuinely asking.
Probably. I think everyone has a fan. Everybody has a fan. Everybody has a fan.
Genuinely asking the public because, I mean, how long has Lacey Evans been in the company? Let's look that up.
It's been a while, as far as I can remember.
How long has Lacey Evans been in this company? She started in 2016. Okay. She's been in this company for 7 years off.
Sheesh.
And how many gimmick changes has she had?
I think only 2. I think.
Yeah, but what were they? What were they? So we had the Sassy Southern Belle.
Yeah.
Then we had the military woman.
Yeah.
And then we have this newish military woman.
Yeah, she's still saying salute and stuff.
All of it basically revolving around the military. So listen,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, she really hasn't had a gimmick change. She's had at least like she's tried at least like 5 gimmick changes within the span of like the 7 years within the company, but they all revolve around the same thing, and they all come up as forced. I mean, yes, I understand she's like a legit military woman, and again, nothing but respect when it comes to that in real life type of shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't work. It doesn't work. She has not worked, and she hasn't gotten any better
at all.
I'm not saying that she's a lost cause or anything, but there are going to be cuts.
Oh, absolutely.
Soon. There are going to be cuts soon. I think in July. I think July 1st is what's being rumored right now.
Especially with Vince back there now, and he just going back to the same stuff that he was doing before Triple H came. Like, it's just, we're going backwards.
The Like a Lady theme was the Sassy Southern Belle stuff. Reaper, and I mean, you know, nothing really gravitated towards me when it came to Lacey. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now with Lacey, but nothing's really happening with her. I should say that. And then Charlotte. So this is what it is.
Yeah.
But But then we come back from a commercial break and we see Adam Pearce, and he's talking on the phone. And he's like, well, speak of the devil, and then comes Bianca Belair, and Bianca Belair is here. He asked her, just hypothetically, during this match next week between Charlotte and Asuka, what would you do if you're at ringside and they came to attack you? You know? She said, well, listen, they should be focusing on each other, but if they were to, come for me, I would have to, defend myself. And Pierce says, and that's the problem. I'm gonna have to bar you from ringside. And she's like, what? And she's like, what? What are you talking about? And Pierce says, listen, you're gonna have to trust me on this one, okay? You will have your chance at the winner, and you'll go face to face with them after that. But you can't be at ringside next week. Bianca asked sarcastically, what? I'm just gonna have to trust you like I was supposed to the last time? And she smirked and left the office of Adam Pearce. She is becoming very more heelish in her mannerisms and the way she is speaking. I'm loving it, man.
This is what we've been waiting for.
For those of you who have not seen Bianca Belair as a heel, you're going to love it. You're going to love it because her first character in NXT was a heel. Not a lot of people remember her heel run in NXT. A lot of people don't even remember her even being a heel at all. But she was. And she was fantastic. You're going to love it. I love that she has been getting more of this, I'm not saying this to, be like sexist in a way. She's being more of a bitch. And I like that. She's getting that bitchy like attitude back.
That's what they used to say about Alexa Bliss, and I never really understood it.
What?
Did she needs to be
more bitch?
Yeah. I don't know.
She's just becoming more of that cocky bitch like attitude. That's what I'm basically meaning by her. And she had that back in NXT in 2019. And now she's getting that back. And I love it.
Hey, look. I've been waiting for a Bianca heel turn for I don't know how long. So, I mean, we might be almost there.
And when she was a freaking heel, man, she used her hair. She used the freaking whip. So please.
Oh, yeah.
For the love of God. We need the whip back. Now, of course, you got to use that sparingly. You can't just whip your opponent every single match that she's in.
You can't just do it for everybody.
But use it sparingly, but use it when it makes sense and get it all good for that. When it came to her using it against Sasha, that was one thing. I mean, they were both babyfaces going into that match, but her using it against Sasha made sense during everything that was happening because, I mean, she was pulling the hair and everything like that, but it made sense and it worked really well for the match. And it became one of the best women's matches in WrestleMania's history because of that, and it was just great. But yeah, I love that she's getting more of that bitch-like attitude, and she's becoming more of a heel every single time she's with Adam, and I think it's going to be great.
I'm excited.
Now, if we get, I still think we're probably going to get Charlotte and Bianca at some point. I was saying at WrestleMania 40, but with everything that's going on right now, we might actually get that sooner, bro. We might possibly get a triple threat at SummerSlam between these three.
I'll take
which I wouldn't mind. I would not mind a triple threat at SummerSlam between these three.
I'll take that. Absolutely.
Now that would be kind of a booking nightmare to see who would get pinned in that situation, but I mean, it just looks like that can happen that way. But there we go. But then we go into the main event. Solo Sikoa with Paul Heyman taking on Sheamus. Now, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Sheamus had an interview, and he was basically, talking about how WWE apparently just dropped the ball on the Brawling Brutes. Did you hear anything about this?
Mm-mm.
So Sheamus had a interview. I forget who the publisher was, but they were talking about. He was really going. They were talking about some stuff that was happening in London for Money in the Bank, and how the Brawling Brutes really became a thing within WWE, and then all of a sudden he was asked a question about how the Brawling Brutes, were being used in WWE right now, and WWE, and he legitimately said just in a public domain that WWE really has dropped the ball on the Brawling Brutes, and now I kind of find it funny now that that WWE put him in the main event spot like this against Solo Sikoa, just to kind of be fed to Solo, just to continue on with this whole Bloodline story. How do you feel that the Brawling Brutes have been going since their inception, man? I mean, I've loved the Brawling Brutes. I think, him being paired up with Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland has been somewhat of a good thing for both of those two guys. And Sheamus, whether you like him or whether you don't, he's been really improving, and he's been one of the top guys in WWE as of late. I can't really disagree with Sheamus though, because Brawling Brutes, they're a great trio. It's just they're not really doing much on TV right now.
No, I definitely see the reason for Sheamus to be a bit frustrated, because I thought they were going to be tag team champions at some point earlier last year, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest Rich Holland guy. I like Pete Dunne. I like Butch, but it's just like they have a whole bunch of moving factors with them, and I think right at the peak of their popularity with the crowd, exactly what Sheamus said, they dropped the ball. So I mean, I don't know what you do with them now, because they are kind of treading water to me at the moment, but Sheamus is right. They definitely missed out on something.
Yeah. I'm trying to find. I wanted to actually read the quote, but I can't actually find the quote that I thought I had saved on my phone, but I can't find it right now. But guys, if I ever do find that article and everything, then I'll that I did, get that from, I'll definitely be putting it out there for you guys, because I do agree with him to some extent that WWE has dropped the ball on them. I thought they really could have done something, really big when it comes to the Brawling Brutes, and when Sheamus said that they dropped the ball, I mean, he's not really totally wrong in that sense. But what we do have here is this main event with him and Solo Sikoa, and it wasn't even like, this is good. I mean, you would think, I mean, you weren't, when it comes to Sheamus and Solo Sikoa, I mean, you didn't think they were probably going to shit the bed, but they legitimately really did some good stuff here. Solo Sikoa won this match, obviously, to carry on what was happening when it comes to the Bloodline situation, but this was really good for Sheamus. We came back from commercial break, and Solo runs towards Sheamus, but Sheamus hits him with the clothesline. Both men on their feet, and Sheamus with another clothesline. Sheamus lifts him up and does a body slam onto Solo. Sheamus then with an Irish Curse backbreaker, and Solo rolls onto the ring apron. Sheamus then grabs Solo and hits him with the 10 beats of the Battering. Sheamus goes for the bro kick, but Solo does a super kick instead, and Sheamus leans into the ropes and hits Solo with a knee to the face. He goes for the cover, but Solo kicks out. Very close kick out, by the way. Sheamus then lifts Solo up, and he does hit with white noise. He struggled a little bit, but that was because he was selling a back injury during the match. And he goes for the cover, but Solo kicks out. So then Solo with a Samoan spike onto Sheamus, but he falls completely to the outside of the ring. Solo then goes to the outside and does a Uranagi onto the announce table. Solo then places Sheamus onto the barricade in a sitting position, and Solo was going to do the running hip attack through the barricade. And I thought as he was setting this up, I'm like, oh, well, Sheamus is going to move out of the way. He didn't.
At all.
And Solo just looks like he just ran himself into the barricade, but he did the running hip attack onto Sheamus, and it broke the barricade. The referee then checks on Sheamus, and once Jessica Carr found out that Sheamus was just legitimately unresponsive and just unconscious, she said, she put this up, but I really do think he's okay. The X really just means we're just gonna call this match, and they called the match in favor of Solo. Solo won, and it was due to referee stoppage. I think Sheamus is okay. I really do. I don't think this whole X thing was for a legit injury, and if it was, hopefully Sheamus is okay. But yeah. I think that was legitimately just to call the match off and to say that this is going to be a referee stoppage. And I think Sheamus is okay. I really don't think this was anything to be upset about, because I did see some stuff where people were saying, I hope Sheamus is okay. I think he was just doing a real good sell jump. At least I'm hoping.
Yeah. I really hope so. I think it'd be all right. I'm pretty sure they were just trying to sell it.
Yeah.
So, let's see what happens.
So the referee Jessica called for other officials and the medical team to get down there. Heyman is standing overlooking Sheamus, and medical is tending to him. Solo is dragging Sheamus by the head and neck. So, I mean, let's be real. If this was a legit situation, I don't think Solo would be, inclined to grab somebody by their head and yank them by their neck to do some more damage to him. I mean, let's be real. If that was a legit situation, grabbing somebody by the head and neck, not the best move. So, again, really good sell job by Sheamus. Then the Usos music hits, and Solo is just like, ugh, my brothers are here. So he gets into the ring, and this is legitimately the two older brothers kicking the crap out of their younger brother. This is just legitimately family stuff that's going on at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, like legit family stuff. You know the whole deal, man. It's like the two older siblings just picking on and just fighting with the younger one. I mean, it's legitimately family stuff going on right there. But this time in WWE.
Yeah. Shit.
Like the two older siblings that know wrestling a little bit too much and do wrestling moves on their youngest brother. I mean, it's the thing.
That's the best fun. That's the best fun.
So they do super kicks on him. They did a double super kick on Solo. Then the Usos climb to the top rope and do a double Uso splash. Jey, for whatever reason, he landed feet first so freaking much. I don't know what was happening. He legitimately just he jumped off the ropes, landed on his feet, and then slowly landed on his brother. I don't know what happened.
He didn't want to hurt his little brother.
Jimmy actually just went for it. He landed on his legs and everything. Jey, he landed on his feet first and then did the top half of his body. So I don't know.
He didn't want to hurt his little brother.
But they did the double Uso splash, and then that's how SmackDown went off the air as they did like their new one kind of gesture. They had like their hands together and did one and did the one. So that's how SmackDown went off the air, with the Usos standing tall over their younger brother and Solo, and Paul Heyman had his phone, his trusty phone, and he was calling Roman at that point. And that's how SmackDown went off the air, man. I mean, it wasn't really anything too special. They kicked the crap out of the younger brother to end the show.
Easy money.
And that was it. That was your Friday Night SmackDown. Let's hold on 1 second. Let's see something real quick. Just checking out on something. Okay, no. Okay, good. I thought something else happened. But okay, so I do want to say something real quick. So the Rampage, obviously AEW Rampage happened. We all know this, but United Empire and Swerve Strickland, they were in a team tonight. So it was like a 4-on-4 tag team match. They beat Chaos and Trent Beretta, Chuck Taylor, Rocky Romero, Andy Yu in an 8-man tag team match. So that was pretty cool to see. Adam Cole came out to cut a promo. His tag team partner in the Eliminator, in the Blind Eliminator tournament, MJF, showed up to interrupt him. So this was MJF's first ever appearance on an AEW Rampage, and AEW Rampage has been a thing for like 3 years, which is insane. So MJF is just on a Rampage tonight with Adam Cole. MJF reveals Cole will face Tom Lawler at Forbidden Door. I don't know who Tom Lawler is, so it's going to be interesting. But Adam Cole is on Forbidden Door now, so that's another match added to the card. That's great.
That's
cool. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn won a trios match. Johnny Elite, John Morrison, returned to AEW and joined and attacked the QTV crew. So I don't know what that means for Johnny, but he automatically has some kind of rivalry going on with QT Marshall and the QTV crew. So that's going to be very interesting. Come on, Johnny, what are you doing? But John Morrison's in AEW now. He showed up on AEW Rampage. Sky Blue defeated Anna JAS. Oh, yes. Oh, that's right. The Owen Hart Foundation tournament started tonight on Rampage, and Anna J lost her first round matchup against Sky Blue. So that's...
Oh, thank God.
That's good. That's good. And Sky Blue advanced to the semifinals of the tournament. So that's good.
Let's get closer.
Then Jungle Boy Jack Perry defeated Dookie in the main event. That I'm not reading that wrong. His name is Douki, and it is pronounced Dookie. So So, but Jungle Boy won, so it's cool, I guess.
Oh joy! Beat Dookie.
He beat Doogie.
Oh.
But tomorrow now, Love, listen. I know you're probably just never gonna watch AEW Collision ever because of CM Punk's involvement, but Swerve Strickland is wrestling Hiroshi Tanahashi tomorrow. So,
oh no, I'm watching that. I'm watching
that, please. Watch
I'll
that.
be there for that. Oh boy.
You don't have to watch the main event. I'm not making you force watch the main event. But it's Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Swerve Strickland. That's gonna be insane.
I'm there for that one. Fuck that. That's gonna be crazy.
Yes, so that's awesome. So yeah, that is what we got when it comes to that. Now, I was gonna see if there was anything else for this. I don't think so. I think that's it. Maybe.
All right.
Okay. Nope. That's it. We'll figure out what happens on AEW Collision tomorrow. Obviously, I know I know those two matches are happening for sure, though. We got the Swerve Strickland and Tanahashi match for Saturday Night Collision, and then that 8-man tag with Punk, FTR, and Ricky Starks taking on Bullet Club Gold and the Gun Club. So that's going to be interesting to say the least. People are already saying that they're just misusing CM Punk because he's just going to be in tag team matches every single week. Bitch, I don't care. I really don't care what you have to think, okay? At the end of the day, they're trying to conserve CM Punk, okay? Because the guy is injury prone, the guy's old, the guy is very fragile, and at the end of the day, he has a match against who the fuck does he even have a matchup against? Forbidden Door. I know he's in the goddamn tournament. He's in the goddamn Forbidden Door tournament. What is that freaking match?
I don't even know.
What is it? I'm just Forbidden Door 2023. By the way, this card is so freaking long, but I expected it. Oh, Satoshi Kojima. Yeah. That's the match in the Owen Hart Cup first round. But yeah, we got 11 matches on this card now, and we'll be doing our predictions on Saturday or tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow afternoon, and then obviously for Saturday Collision, I'll be right here for the review. I don't know who's joining me, but we'll see. But we got Athena taking on Billy Starks in the women's Owen Hart Cup first round match. Hoping Athena wins that thing. Really do. I hope Athena wins that. Omega and Ospreay for the U.S. title. Okada and Danielson.
Woo!
The main event. Gonna be so fucking good, man. It's legitimately those first two matches that legitimately sell the pay-per-view for me.
It's over. It could be a 3-match pay-per-view and it'll be fine.
Like, that's it. Sonata versus Jungle Boy. I don't care what anybody says. That's going to be fantastic.
It better be.
This match right here, you know I know you just don't like Orange Cassidy anyway, but I'm going to bring it up. The Orange Cassidy Will Ospreay match that everybody was just writing off. Because they're just like, what the fuck is this? This match is not even going to be anything good. Turned out to be one of the best matches on the card. I feel like that's going to be like the mentality of this. Everybody's writing off Jungle Boy and Sonata. But I think this match is going to be a banger. That's for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. So Jungle Boy is going to have something when it comes to that.
He better do something.
MJF taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi for the AEW World Championship. So The AEW World Title's on the line. That's gonna be fantastic, bro.
That man's gonna talk so much shit when he wins, bro.
Then we got Les Suzuki Gods and Chris Jericho, Minoru Suzuki, Murder Grandpa is what everybody loves to call him, and Sammy Guevara taking on Sting, Darby Allin, and to be announced, the announced participant will be announced tomorrow on Collision. So Sin Cara. A lot of people are thinking it's either going to be Evil from New Japan, Tetsuya Naito, or Goldberg.
I will laugh so hard if I hear Goldberg walk out, bro. Oh, oh man.
Then we got Blackpool Combat Club and John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, Konosuke Takeshita, and Shota Umino taking on the Elite and Hangman Adam Page, Matt and Nick Jackson, Eddie Kingston, and Tomohiro Ishii, which is insane. Eddie Kingston teaming up with the Elite is just hilarious. Because you just wouldn't think that would be the case at all, but then all of a sudden,
hates them.
He just hates Claudio more. So
that's crazy.
I guess the enemy of my enemy is my friend at that point.
Correct.
Then we got CM Punk versus Satoshi Kojima.
Oh boy.
This was supposed to be Kenta, but Kenta just said, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm pulling out of the match."
All right.
It has nothing to do with CM Punk, and CM Punk wanted to work with him, but Kenta just said, "Yeah, no, fuck it. I'm out."
All right.
I guess it was, from what we're hearing, it was a money issue. He wasn't being paid enough, apparently.
Gotta get your money up.
Then we got Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. versus Katsuyori Shibata versus Daniel Garcia for the International Championship in a 4-way. That's just going to be insane. I mean, like, a 4-way between all those guys. You know we have 3 champions in this match, though? In that one match, we have 3 champions.
That's hilarious.
We have the International Champion in Orange Cassidy. We have the New Japan World Television Champion in Zack Sabre Jr. And then the Ring of Honor Pure Champion in Katsuyori Shibata.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Then we got Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale, so Tony time.
Oh my goodness, Tony and Willow? Oh man.
Tony and Willow in a match for the AEW Women's World Championship. And Willow Nightingale is the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. So
oh yeah, because she beat Mercedes.
Because she beat Mercedes. So
oh man.
There are two women's champions in that one match, but one of them is gonna have to get pinned. But here's the thing: since Willow Nightingale is most likely losing to Tony on Sunday, it really makes me have a feeling that Willow Nightingale will advance in her Owen Hart Cup match when she has her match against Nyla Rose. So
yeah, Nyla Rose is gonna get it.
So Willow Nightingale will most likely advance into her side of the bracket for the semifinals. And then Adam Cole versus Tom Lawler. I don't know who this Tom Lawler guy is, but apparently he was in MLW. He's a former MLW heavyweight champion. He was the inaugural open weight champion for New Japan Strong. So the guy must be doing something, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna get a new kind of exposure when it comes to somebody like him, and should be pretty decent. I mean, I'm not too familiar, but we'll see what he's about on Sunday.
Yeah.
Forbidden Door 2, man. I mean, on paper, looking like to be one of the best AEW pay-per-views that they have to offer. Last year's Forbidden Door was one of the best pay-per-views they ever produced. So, like I said, with those first two matches of Omega and Ospreay and Danielson and Okada, that was enough for me to get this pay-per-view. So, we'll see how it performs.
Should be very nice.
This was AEW's week, honestly, to begin with, man, because we had the Dynamite, then we have Rampage, Collision, and Dynamite, and not Dynamite, and Forbidden Door. It's legitimately AEW week, and next week it'll be all WWE. So they'll get their weeks in.
Let's see what happens.
But yeah, guys, this is gonna be fun. We will see you guys after Forbidden Door is off the air. We will see you guys tomorrow for 2 live streams. One for the Forbidden Door preview and predictions, and the Saturday Night Collision post show. And then Sunday is the pay-per-view Forbidden Door. So we'll be here for that. So yeah, should be really, really fun, and it's going to be a really fun weekend. It might be exhausting, but at the end of the day, should be a really fun Sunday. And next week is Money in the Bank, which is another obstacle we have to go through, but should be good.
Got a good few weeks coming up.
Then let's not forget, man, All In about 8 weeks' time.
Damn.
For almost 70,000 people in that one arena for Wembley Stadium. I shouldn't even say arena. That's the freaking stadium. Almost 70,000 people strong for that match or that show, and not even a single match announced yet. So that's just
crazy,
insane in itself. SummerSlam right around the corner as well, and All Out as well. I mean, there's a lot to be excited about.
Got stuff going on.
Cannot wait indeed. But guys, that's it for the Outside the Brand post show for tonight. One thing I have to say before we get the hell out of here is you gotta pray for my man Cody Rhodes, guys. He still has that bionic arm. He was doing a kayfabe tonight, as over the past few days they were celebrating Brandy's 40th birthday. She definitely does not look 40, but he was wearing a cast all birthday party long. So keep in mind that Cody has a broken arm, and he's keeping a kayfabe, and he's got to keep that bionic arm looking strong, man.
I like it. Got to sell it.
Keeping a kayfabe, man. There's keeping a kayfabe and keeping a bionic arm on your off days.
I like it.
It's crazy. I don't know why I had to bring that up, man, but it still has a bionic arm, and it's funny.
That's hilarious.
But yeah. Do you guys have anything else to say before we're out?
We're about to go over. Well, I'm about to go over to the Michael Jackson stream on the Main Event Players Twitch channel.
Yes.
I'm about to tell him to go over to Kick, but they've been on for like 2-3 hours now, so I'm gonna go over there and see what's going on with them.
I might actually join you on that.
See what they're doing.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you guys want to just transfer over to the MEP, they just stream just to stream at times, just random stuff. But it's Michael Jackson, so I mean, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say they can't. It's freaking Michael Jackson. Obviously, yes. Obviously, you've seen the videos going around. This whole Taylor Swift, Michael Jackson thing. What is this? I can't wrap my brain about what's really happening here. Because somebody said that Taylor Swift is on the level of Michael Jackson in terms of like popularity, and then all of a sudden everybody just got mad.
Because she's not, and that's okay.
I mean, I know she's not. I mean, I know she's not, and I'm saying
That's the only thing
that
we're
she's
trying
not
to
either.
do.
But everybody
That's
just
the
got
only thing we're
mad.
trying to do. The only thing we're trying to do is explain that it's okay that she's not that famous, because nobody should ever aspire to be that level of famous, because you can't be a human after that. You know, this is not a game. This is Michael Jackson. We're not talking about we're not talking about anybody else. This is the top of the line. There is no other people above.
Yeah.
You shouldn't want to be that level of famous. You can't. So that's all that was. It was just a stupid TikTok made by a weird person, and we all put him in his place because he thought this was a game. Nah, this ain't no game.
I was so confused on why everybody was so upset. But then all of a sudden I actually watched a full video and I was like, oh yeah. Now I know why everybody
He thinks it's Taylor Swift's game. It's not Taylor Swift's game. It's not Taylor Swift's game. What game it is? LA Night. Yeah.
Yeah. Wild. Okay. So yeah, that's it. Have a good rest of the night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for the 2 live streams. We'll talk to you when we talk to you, and we'll see you when we see you. Go get the merch. Bonfire, not Bonfire. I haven't messed that up in ages. Teespring, the official home of OTB and its merchandise. Go down there. It's all linked in the description. Go get yourself something from www.shop.com with the code, and not code, but affiliate link. And thank you, SeatGeek, for sponsoring the channel. OTB and checkout for $20 off your first purchase, and we will see you tomorrow for the Forbidden Door predictions and AEW Collision post show right here on OTB. So talk to you guys soon. Have a good rest of the night. Stay safe. God bless. And peace.